In this video, Kevin and I are going to be talking about the TV shows and movies that we watched in January. And there's not a lot of them. So like, we've gone from December to where we had a ton and we watched all kinds of new Christmas movies and stuff like that to like almost dried up.
Well, a lot of them are things we watch a lot of, like we'll watch the same show every night.
Yeah, so it's not like
it's not like different shows every night. It may be the same show. We're watching 6 episodes 6 nights in a row.
Exactly. So, instead of watching a different Christmas movie every night. That's why that list was so long.
We just haven't intentionally gone out and looked for different movies that we could.
Exactly. So the first 2 things I watched on my own. I found this new to me. I know he's not new, but there are so many comedians that I do not know about. Tons of comedians. So this guy, his name is Brian Regan, and I watched his Netflix On the Rocks, and I also watched one called Nunchucks and Flamethrowers. I thought he was really, really funny. His name is Brian Regan, R-E-G-A-N.
How clean is he?
He's pretty clean. Yeah. He's pretty clean.
Well, some of them are just absolutely filthy.
Some of them are so filthy that like every other word is almost
offensive.
Like they can't say a sentence without cussing. You know, I don't mind cussing. It doesn't offend me. But it's like...
It almost gets in the way of the story, the joke.
Yeah, it can be too much. But no, he's pretty clean. Yeah. I thought he was really clean. I thought the family could... I mean, I don't know. But, you know, you have to judge that. But I thought he was pretty clean. Most kids wouldn't enjoy stand-up comedy anyway. They don't get what's funny about that.
I'm thinking teenagers, though, would.
I don't know if they would enjoy him so much, but yeah, a lot of teenagers would, And
we also watched another Netflix special. It was like, we don't know what the name of it was. It was like...
I didn't write it down.
Like, it was basically just a little montage of different comedians doing little skits throughout 2022.
Yeah, and it was like the 2022 highlights.
Like best of or something like that.
And so it would give you like 5 minutes of each comedian.
Yeah, it was a bunch of them too.
And I tell you what, it was a really cool show to watch because it, we met all kinds of people on the show. It's like, I need to watch this special because...
Yeah, that part was pretty funny.
That part was funny, so I would like to see their whole show. But it was like a wrap-up of all these comedians.
Yeah, it was really good.
I watched by myself Matilda the Musical. Some people had mentioned that to me, and it was on Netflix. I like musicals, but for Matilda, I would rather watch the movie.
The actual movie.
I like the movie more than the musical. That's just me. I thought they did a good job of it and everything. I would just rather, if I were to go see the show.
That's what I was going to say. Do you think it would have been better if you'd actually went and seen it out on a play at Broadway or whatever?
Yeah, I would rather see the live show, of course, to see the musical. If I'm going to be sitting at home watching it, I would just as soon watch the movie.
Well, I know every time we've been to London, they've had Matilda.
They've had Matilda.
Yeah.
They've also had the Agatha Christie. I would like to go see.
And Family Opera.
We want to go see next time we go, which who knows when that'll be. But next time we go, we would like to definitely catch a show. We'd like to see something too at the Royal Albert Hall because we toured it and the tour was amazing. And one of the shows that we've been watching, World's Strongest Man, one of their competitions was in the Royal Albert Hall. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
You wouldn't think of a strongman competition at a fancy concert hall.
No, but they do everything there. And I was thinking while they would pan around, I was thinking, okay, where's the Queen's box up there? And then it started making me think about her. But that World's Strongest Man competition, it's so good. So it starts over in the UK, but then they move over to California. Where are they in California? Sacramento.
And it's always hot.
Very, very hot. And that's the funny thing too, is when they're doing it in the UK, they're doing these strongman competitions in a building, in a arena or in a place.
Yeah, big place.
They bring them over to America, and it's like, let's just throw them out in the heat.
They're out in the street.
Yeah, it's like, why would you do that?
It seems to be a lot bigger deal over in Europe and the UK than it is here too, because
there's not many people.
They fill up not whole stadiums. They fill up a big portion of a stadium when they're doing it over there. Over here, there's probably 50 people surrounding this little area, just standing there going.
I would love to go. I would love to watch these strongman competitions.
Not gonna go to Sacramento though.
It's the neat, not unless if they said, Tammy, come see us, watch us. Yeah. I would go if they were paid
right.
for. I think it's cool. I've always said I would love to go to the Highland Games. To me, that is just awesome. I love seeing these guys and seeing them, how much weight they can hold and pick up and move, and I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's neat.
So then we watched A Farewell to Doc Martin.
Yeah.
One of you all told us about it. We didn't even know. We knew that the show had ended, but we didn't know that they did this special. Mm-hmm. Doc Martin, we've said it before, it is like the cleanest, the best, the best people, just absolutely fantastic show.
It's a good show, yeah. And it usually has a pretty good message too. So
yes, and the farewell show was terrific.
It was good. It was kind of like a behind the scenes kind of thing.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then I watched this movie by myself. This was called To Leslie. It's 2022. A West Texas single mother wins the lottery and squanders it just as fast, leaving behind a world of heartbreak. Years later, with her charm running out and nowhere to go, she fights to rebuild her life and find redemption. It was okay. It wasn't a bad movie. It was just kind of depressing. I thought it was kind of depressing. I mean,
it sounds like it from that.
Yeah, it was kind of depressing. And honestly, I turned it on just to have something, I'm working on one monitor, and so I can have that on the other monitor. And it's one that you don't have to like focus all your attention on. And it was kind of depressing. Yeah. But it was a one-time watch for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not recommending it. Yeah. Then, oh my gosh, thank you to Philly CW for mentioning the Traitors, because let me tell you why. We watched the whole Traitors UK, and I have recommended it.
It's a reality game show.
I've recommended it to everyone. Everyone. My sister, thanks to you, my sister is now hooked. I mean, she's like, she loves it. So she's watched all the UK ones too. Mm-hmm. And now we're both, she's working on the Australian version and we're working on the Australian version. They also did it here in the United States.
Yeah, we'll watch that next.
In America. But yes, we're first watching the Australian version before we get to the USA. The differences between the UK and the Australian, of course, you've got a different host. Frankly, I love, the woman did a good job in the UK. She was great. And I like how she, a lot of times the host is completely separate. Like, it's like they don't get
involved.
Yeah, like they don't connect with the contestants. She connected with them, and it was so nice to see her rooting for them and rooting them on and wanting them to win the money. The difference in that and the Australian version, I really like the host. He's a good-looking guy. He's funny.
They played some doctor over there. On
he played on some. Yeah, but he's a good-looking guy. He kind of reminds me of that guy that used to be. Did you ever watch the show Heart to Heart?
No. Yeah.
Heart to Heart.
Ages ago. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that man. I can't think of his name, but it kind of reminds me of him. His looks do, and his hair. But from what we've seen so far in the Australian version, I think we've only watched like 4. They don't seem to want them to win the money as much.
Yeah, the tasks they give them are that'd be almost impossible for.
Yeah.
Well, one of the tasks, and I'll just tell you because it doesn't really matter. It's already been on. I mean, if you watched it, you've watched it. One of the tasks is they have to work their way across this bridge, and they have to stand in these squares.
It's like Squid Game. It's just like Squid Game.
Kind of the glass squares. Some of them broke and some of them weren't.
Yeah, just like in Squid Game.
So they would stand on the square, and they had what 6 or 7 rows, and there were 3 squares each. And it might have been 9 or 10, I don't know. But anyway, there was 3 squares each, and you had to stand on one. And if you got it wrong, you fell through. And there was people at the end that memorized the path to go. Well, unless you just happened to get it right the first time, you would never win the money that
you would never win the full amount.
No, there's no way.
There's no way
possible you could have won the whole amount. So it's like, okay, it's going to take you at least, let's say there's 9 rows, it's going to take you at least 5 probably to get there. So right there, it's automatically 5 people that didn't win money out of that group.
Right.
I mean, and it goes into a pool. It's not those individuals winning money, but they didn't gather money for the pool.
Right.
I don't know. It's just like some items. It's like there's no way you could win all that money. So. Yeah.
Well, and the most recent we watched, unless that was the most recent.
That was one of the most recent.
The other one was the paintball one.
Yeah, the paintball, but I think they rigged that one. I don't think they were actually aiming for them as much as they could have been.
Okay.
Because they could have, those guys that play paintball all the time, they could have hit them easily.
If you watch the UK version of Traitors, you should watch the Australian version.
The Australian's good.
I like it quite a bit, but it just doesn't seem like they want them to win the money as bad.
There are subtle differences. There's more people to start out with. The shield, the protection thing works a little differently. It just works a little differently.
And there was a woman on there who just, after like a couple of episodes, she just decided to leave the show.
Yeah, she goes, I'm done.
She's like, I'm out of here. So she just decided to leave. And
which I hate it when they do that, because that would have been a spot somebody else could have done.
Yes. Well, just like on The Apprentice. There was a girl on there.
After one episode, said, "No, this is not the environment for me."
This isn't the right environment for me. I'm leaving. It's like, what the heck do you? Why would you do that? Mm-hmm. How humiliating!
I just think it's bad for. I just think it's shame on them because they took up a spot
you
that someone
took up
else would have loved
somebody's
to have
spot. Yeah. So that's another one we're watching. I don't even know if I wrote. I didn't even have that on here. The Apprentice. We're watching The Apprentice.
the UK. Apprentice.
The UK Apprentice with Lord Sugar. We love The Apprentice, and
that's an ongoing right now. So
yeah. So they're doing it right now. Let's see what I actually did write down.
Right there.
Oh, we finished The Amazing Race Australia. And I just have to say, I don't remember ever crying, like literally boo-hoo crying on the last episode of a show.
Of these kind of shows.
Not a reality type show like this. On The Amazing Race Australia, and it makes me want to cry just thinking about it. I literally cried at the last episode because the people who I wanted to win won. And they were so deserving, so wonderful, and it filled me with emotion. Did you tear up at all?
Yeah. I don't know that you could help it.
You couldn't help it.
No, she just didn't care.
The people won who should have won, who deserved to win. And it was just absolutely, like our last Amazing Race, I like the people who won our last Amazing Race. It was like this YouTube family. And they're awesome. They're real happy. And I don't know if their names are Halloran, or I don't remember what their last name was. But, because I don't watch their YouTube channel. But they deserve to win. But this group, these people in Australia, it just made me cry. And if you watched it, you would know. It was so touching. And then I am still watching Handmaid's Tale, The Handmaid's Tale. So Kevin started out watching it with me.
I got so bored with it. I get in the middle of one episode, I said, I can't watch this anymore.
He did. He told me.
I just can't watch this anymore.
He said, I don't know about you.
It has gotten so stupid and boring that I just don't care about any of these people anymore.
The main character is June. And Elizabeth Moss, and I think that's her name.
Yeah,
she's a really good actress. She was in Mad Men. She was the secretary on Mad Men, and she's a good actress. However, the show has gotten to the point where they've made her out to be a lunatic, a complete crazy lunatic.
Which you would be that way a little bit going through what she went through, but I don't want to just see that.
But she really hasn't even had that many lines. They have gotten to the point where they just like doing these really, really severe close-ups on her face, and of her making these faces and acting just weird and, just this twitchy and weird. And instead of her having lines to say like a person, they've made her seem like we need to put her in a padded room. And it's really taken away from the show, I think.
That's why there was very little going on, and what little was going on, it's like, this is so stupid. I can't watch it.
So Kevin quit watching it. I've watched a couple of shows since then, a couple of episodes since then. And I can't give anything away because I'm sure some of you haven't watched it at all. But something just happened that I just watched. And I told Kevin, I said, this thing that happened would have never happened any other time in the show. They're just, I don't know. It's kind of like they've gone off the rails with it, with stuff that's happened that really wouldn't have happened. And it's gone away from what it was.
Right. Sometimes shows stay on too long.
I think this has been
And this is one of those ones, it's like, you know, it's... When she escaped, they could have wrapped up that season when she escaped. If you haven't watched it, she escaped. Spoiler. They could have wrapped that season up and really ended it well right there. And never been on again. But then now they've drug it on another season. I think it's renewed for another season.
It's gone on too long. It's like, and you know, like we quit watching certain shows. We quit watching House.
House is a prime example. We watched so many years of that.
We quit watching Grey's Anatomy. It's like, oh my gosh, how long can this go on?
You know what got me about Grey's Anatomy is they could never leave a couple happy.
Yeah.
They would have couples come together and you're like, oh, I'm so glad they got together, and like 3 or 4 episodes later, oh well, they're broke up again.
Right.
There goes that.
The Handmaid's Tale, I think it's time. I will watch it just because we watched it since the beginning. It's one of those that I'll complete because I want to see how they end it. However, it's time. I don't know why they keep going on and on and on with this. Because these people could get jobs acting in something else. It's not like they're not going to have a job.
Right.
Okay. We're watching. This is probably my favorite show. But not a reality show.
Regular TV show.
A regular TV show. This is like my favorite show right now. Kingdom. Heather recommended Kingdom to me. I am so thankful because I absolutely love the show. It's already started and gone off. So it came on back in like 2014.
It's only like 3 seasons.
And yeah, I don't know how many seasons it is.
I'm almost positive it's only 3.
Well, I hate to hear that. I was hoping you were wrong.
No, I can look to be sure, but I think it is.
I am not into these MMA fighting at all. That is not me. I don't like to see it. I don't like to watch it. I didn't mind watching the...
Yeah, 3.
I hate to hear that.
And the last season's only 10 episodes.
I didn't mind watching the fighters when I was a teenager, the fake fighting, like because I knew it was fake and it was all very choreographed. And like with Hulk Hogan and those people, it was all fake.
You should never say that's fake. It's choreographed, but they are really hitting each other.
Okay, but it is choreographed. They know what
they know the
planned.
outcome.
Okay,
yeah.
It's planned. They know the outcome. They know.
Yeah.
They know
it's choreographed. It's not fake. You can't say it's fake because they really are smacking each other around.
What were the bushwhackers or somebody? Anyway,
I never got into any of that.
Okay, so I had a boyfriend at the time that
loved it.
After church on Sunday, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to watch this, and so guess what I got to do. So I never liked it, but anyway, and I know, and it's like a lot of people pay to go to these, and it's like you're paying to go to this. It's basically a show. Yeah. It's just not on a stage. It's a different stage. But this is real fighting, but it's in a show. It's a TV show, but it's real fighting, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely
She does turn her head during the fights, though.
I don't watch during the fights because I can't, even though it's a TV show. I don't want to see the fights. Just like in American Horror Story, I don't want to see somebody getting stabbed to death. I don't want to see these people fighting and blood coming out of their eyes or whatever. But
the story's really good.
The story is terrific. The characters are awesome. I love these characters. I'm invested in these characters. I cannot speak highly enough about this show.
It's a good show.
I could binge the show, but I don't for Kevin's sake. I could watch one right after the other, but I know that he's probably ready to move on to something else.
She likes it better than I like it, but she likes it better than I do.
I love it.
It took me a while to get into it, too.
It did not take me.
She was like first episode.
First episode, I'm hooked. I'm ready to go.
For me, I'm like, first couple episodes, I was okay with it. Now, I want to watch it too now, but yeah, it took me a little bit.
If I had to rate the show, I would give the show a 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
I would give it 5 gold stars.
I like the story.
It is an adult show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There is
no kitties in this.
No, there is. First of all, the physical violence.
They're fighting.
They're fighting, but then there's nudity, there's sex, there's cussing, there's drugs.
Yeah.
It has everything in it. But I'm like eating that up with a spoon. It is such a good show.
Now going from that to something wholesome.
Well, this is just the order I wrote it on my list.
It's GP's Next Door.
GP's Next Door, yeah.
Yeah, it's a doctor reality show.
Like the cleanest show you can watch. Yes. It's weird this time though.
Yeah, they put it in a trailer. Like it was during COVID, so they were in this like mobile trailer thing.
Which we don't understand. We don't get.
It's like, why wouldn't the office building be open?
Why did they set up this mobile unit for people to visit in their town instead of being able to go to the doctor's office? What's the difference?
Yeah, we didn't understand.
There's no difference.
They didn't explain it very well either.
No, they didn't explain it at all.
It's like we're around town or around the country to do, and it's like it's the same people.
Yeah, it's like why? Because they're still going into an office with the equipment and the bed and the chairs and all that.
The UK was a little different than the US though about COVID and.
I mean, I just
somebody over there can explain it.
Yeah, I do not get it. What is the difference in going to see people in this trailer than going to see people in an office? It's literally, you still have the person at reception greeting the people. You still have the doctors there seeing the people. They don't usually wear a mask, even though it was during COVID. The doctors aren't wearing a mask,
no.
and except when they're getting up close.
Yeah, then they say, well, I'm going to have to get up close, so let's put a mask on.
Right, but when they're sitting there like I'm across from you, talking to you just like in the office, they're not wearing a mask at that time. So we don't understand why they did this, unless they just wanted to change it up in the show a little bit.
I know, like the what was that? Is it Embarrassing Bodies?
Yeah, Embarrassing Bodies.
They did the same thing.
Yeah, they went around.
They went around it too. Yeah. They didn't go to their office. They went around in this mobile thing.
They did go around in a mobile thing.
So I don't know. Maybe there was certain things they could get away with and some they couldn't. TV.
I don't get that either. I like that show, Embarrassing Bodies.
Yeah, we haven't seen that for a while.
Okay, 24 Hours in A&E is
another reality hospital show.
We love it. People come in. It's literally people come into the ER, but they call it the A&E accident and emergency in the UK. And you get people that come in for little boo-boos, but then you get people that come in for
compound ankle fractures.
Oh my gosh! You had to mention that one. Kevin.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen on there.
Are you sure it's that show?
I'm pretty sure it was on that one.
Are you sure it was 24 Hours in A&E, not one of those other emergency shows we watch?
I don't know. It was one of those.
Because
that
24
one or Casualty, 24/7.
I don't think it was. Because 24 Hours in A&E.
They usually are a lot cleaner and not quite so graphic.
Oh my God.
I think it might have been Casualty.
I think it was too, Kevin. I can't believe you brought that up. They showed this woman all of a sudden. They showed her ankle, and it's like
it was just hanging there.
It was hanging off, and it was like, oh my
It was gross.
I've never seen any. I don't think the nurse said
the nurse said that kind of got me woozy.
Yeah, she's like, I've been in this job for a long time, and I haven't seen anything like that. We weren't ready for it at home either.
No. You mentioned World Strongest.
mentioned World Strongest. We are watching Junior Bake Off. So Junior Bake Off.
It's still coming on.
It's the same thing. It's like Great British Bake Off, but it's with kids. And it still is coming on. Well, is it still coming on? Oh, okay. I didn't realize if it was still coming on.
It's still coming on.
But we're watching that, and
we're behind a little way. So.
Yeah, we're behind. So I didn't know. I didn't know how many episodes had come on or anything like that because we're behind. When I don't want to watch 2 or 3 episodes of Kingdom at once, then I'll be nice and I'll let us watch an episode of the Junior Bake Off, because that's what I'm saying. I know Kevin would like to watch something different, and so I try to throw other things on there, but at the same time I'm dying to know what's going to happen next on Kingdom because I'm enjoying it so very much. Do you have anything in your phone that we've been watching that I forgot to write down?
I can look. I have a show, ITV shows, which keeps track. I call The Midwife. We've been watching those kind of spotty. We haven't really kept up with those really
No, I haven't.
Really well.
No, I haven't. We will start Call The Midwife. We watched the Christmas special. Yeah, we watched it. I'm telling you, I'm just enjoying Kingdom so much that it's like I really want to to finish watching that, you know?
Of course, you're watching like the Real Housewives as they come out.
I'm watching Real Housewives.
Young Sheldon took the winter break, so they're coming back on soon. Call Me Kat, we've been watching that
Call
still.
Me Kat, yeah.
That's another show I think is kind of getting to that point where they just need to go off.
Well, that guy died.
Yeah, that was sad.
It was Leslie Jordan.
Yeah.
Leslie Jordan died.
Car wreck, right? Wasn't it a car wreck?
Yeah. Well, it was like he had a heart attack or something.
While he was driving.
Something happened, yeah, that's sad. And then they did a whole special, a show, because we kept wondering,
When are they going to acknowledge
when
it?
are they going to acknowledge this guy that he died?
Because right after he died, they just put the black screen on there saying in memory of, but then they never really said anything.
But I think that was because they had already made those shows.
Yeah, and he was in probably 3 episodes
Yeah,
after that, 3
so
or 4.
then they did a show that was really dedicated to him.
Oh, 100% dedicated.
And yeah, it was special. Yeah, he's a special guy.
One's coming up, Survivor's coming up in a month. Yeah. Mandalorian's coming up in a month.
Mandalorian.
I know like Yellowstone and stuff like that's coming back on soon.
When?
It's like
Yellowstone went off, and it's like it hasn't come back on. It's like, when is that going to come back on?
Yeah.
And we still have a ton of shows to watch.
I've got a list on here of things we just haven't got to.
I tell you what, really,
she started Kingdom, and she was done. We're not watching anything else. We're watching that.
I like Kingdom so much, I'm telling you, but you cannot watch it if your children are awake. Just don't even turn it on, okay? Because it's really, really...
Yeah, every episode's got something in there.
Every single one. But no, I tell you what messed with us watching a lot too, is because Kevin and Andrew are playing a game.
That's true.
And so when Andrew is off work, Andrew wants to be playing that game at night, which I don't have an issue with at all. But when they can play, Andrew wants to play the entire night for like 3 or 4 hours.
Or 6.
So, Andrew doesn't like to quit playing. So we don't get to watch any TV that night. Like I said, that's fine if we skip a night, but that means we skip, that was the night that we had to get through an episode of something, and we missed 4 hours of TV time or something because he's playing this game.
I'm pretty sure we were on from, 4 last night? It was like 4 till like 10:30.
Yeah, close to 11 o'clock you were on. And yeah, I mean, like Kevin's eating dinner and everything while they're playing this. What game you got? You may as well say it.
It's New World.
New World.
It's on my channel. That's what I've been posting on my channel lately.
So he has another channel called it's Movie HQ, and it's linked below if you don't know that. But he and Andrew.
But I just play video games, so if you're not interested in that, you'll be bored to death.
Yeah, it's literally just video games, and there's some old videos way back of you like doing a loot crate
box opening
and stuff like that. I think you
putting together stuff, building my computer.
Your computer. I think you did some Metal Earth on that channel.
1 or 2, like sped up, and then I put the Lego together on that.
Yeah, he did the Hogwarts that he got for Christmas.
Yeah, it's real time, so it's like 6 hours.
It's a long video, so yeah, they're playing that game, and so but anyway, so when they're doing that, we don't get a chance to watch TV. Like I said, that's fine with me because I have other things to do anyway.
Or watch other TV shows.
I can have me time, But that's why we haven't watched as much this month. But as always, I say this every time, leave your recommendations below because we found Kingdom and we found the Traitors. Actually, Brian Regan was, somebody else had mentioned that, not on my channel, but on a different channel. Matilda the Musical, you all told me about that one.
And we may not watch all of them.
Yeah, and some of them, it's like, in some things I have tried and they weren't for me. So if you've mentioned something probably over and over again, then I've probably tried to watch it by myself without Kevin, because sometimes I'll like give it a trial for like 15 or 20 minutes, and I know right away if it's gonna be something Kevin's gonna like. If I know right away this isn't really my type of thing and it's really not his type of thing, then I'm just not going to stick with it. But you'll know eventually if it was, because we'll bring it up in one of these videos. So please always, always leave your recommendations, because not only are you helping us, but you're helping other people that are watching this video as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you at the end of February.